Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's something. I got shot at too, but I actually did get the ricochets from the AK-47 in my legs. My it was when my husband got picked up by the cartel. He got kidnapped. Kamala Harris on an episode.
Well, you know what? They did her through a feed. They did her through a feed. They picked certain shows and did her through a feed in there. I wanted them to put Donald Trump on there, but they wouldn't do it.
Why not?
No, I'm just joking with you. So tonight, we got a first for everything. First of all, I got my homeboy G Malone in the house. G, you becoming a regular on this motherfucker, man.
I mean, I was here the first day it started.
Yeah, the first day it was conceived, man. And we have another first on the show, man. I love, doing special things, G, and just getting it popping, man. I don't think nobody in the podcast world has ever did this, man. We got actually a narco rapper on the show.
Hey.
And I want to get it right first. So it's the difference between a gangster rapper and a narco rapper. What is a narco rapper?
A narco rapper is a rapper that raps about criminal organizations, especially only cartels and
Cartels.
Narco identities. Yeah.
Okay, that voice that you're hearing explaining to me what narco rap is Miss Blue Fronteraz. Well, so are you from an organization?
Am I from an organization? I am not from an organization, no, but I do rap for the Gulf Cartel.
Man, that was a very square question, wasn't it? Are you from? That's like asking somebody if they're from a gang. They're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to answer that question.
Very square.
That was a very square question. But you had a husband that was real big in the game.
I wanted the whole drive here. I wanted to start off with the studio right here where I'm recording at is actually on the same block, if not 2 streets away from the house where his murderers live.
They still live there?
No, well, they fled to the United States, but yeah, that's their house. Yeah, that's one of their houses.
That's something else. Somebody
It's
fled from
crazy that
Mexico to
I'm
the
right
United
here.
States.
I'm right here still, like 2 streets away.
That's real crazy. Tell the world your husband's name.
Blunt. Blunt was his rap name, Blunt de Rojo Rec. Initially, when he started, he was Blunt de Cali. And the duo that blew him up was Cano and Blunt. So he was Blunt de Cali and then changed his name to Blunt de Rojo Rec.
Okay, that's dope. And so is that how you got introduced to him as a rapper, right?
Yes, he was already a rapper when I met him.
And you were a rapper already too when you met him, right?
Yes. Yeah, he knew who I was, and I knew who he was.
Oh, so he was a groupie then.
He wasn't a fan, and I wasn't his fan either. But when we met, I don't know. I guess he was just smitten by me. He asked me to be a model in one of his videos, and I said, "Okay, I'll be a model in one of your videos, but you got to give me a fee." And that's how we started working. One thing turned into another, and we ended up in a relationship.
See, Blue said you got to break bread or play dead. I need some bread.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because he was pretty big, so I'm pretty sure your affiliation with him, you start having a relationship with him, kind of blew you up too.
Yes. A lot of people considered us, like here, they considered us a power couple in our area because he's very, his name has weight around here. He was very well respected. So indeed, it did push me into what I am today. I was already a pioneer of the narco rap, but not as deep as I'm in it now. It has been like really, really, really hard work because I'm the only female doing it, and I think it's easier for the guys because it's easier for the comandantes to ask a guy like, "Hey, do me a song," versus I don't know, trusting a female to telling your story. You know what I'm saying? So it's taken me a lot of work. but I've finally gotten there, and I'm working my way up because there's different levels in the organization, so I'm working my way up the ladder.
That's dope. You know, one question I wanted to ask you, I couldn't wait. We've been talking about doing this for like months now. So it was so much stuff that I wanted to ask you. You know, I watch a lot. I told you I watch a lot of the novellas, right? Just because I like gangster shit, you know? So, novellas show a lot of gangster shit. Are there really any female bosses out there? Like in the
Yes.
cartels?
Yep, there are. There's females. As a matter of fact, there's a few females that are considered like more bloody or violent than the men. Yeah, I was just.
You never hear about them getting busted either. I ain't never heard about no females getting busted in the dope game.
Oh yeah, there's videos, there's documentaries about them, and as a matter of fact, well here because it's local news here, like people just WhatsApp each other the information, the news, the sometimes the private audios, the private videos of what they did, to certain people. Those videos get passed around, and the audio was released of a girl from here, from I think it was the Azordas is the city, but it's still this territory. They were in the confrontation. We call them a topan, but they were in a confrontation with the government, and you heard the audio. You heard the girl. I don't know what the word is, moaning, or just like her last, words, and then they released that audio, and then they're like, oh, they released the information about her. They released her Facebook. This is so and so, from the Azordas, and this is their last moments before, they were gunned down by the government. So yeah, I mean, we hear it here, but we don't hear them. I guess the rest of the world doesn't hear them.
That's crazy. I guess America got a lot of censorship and stuff, and I want to kind of correct what I said before. America got a lot of female hustlers. They get busted and it's on the news and stuff.
Yes.
And they do their thing. And I just always wonder, because like I said, I watch the novellas. I don't know how real the novellas are or whatever, but I see a lot of female bosses in there. I thought it might have been a TV thing at first.
No, yeah. I mean, there's quite a few female bosses. Oye, 14, unas de las mujeres pesadas de México, que me puedes decir como que es antes, que es Camelia, pero de México. Yeah, Camelia la Tejana is she's a very well known in the Hispanic. No había otra de Sinaloa, La Reina del Sur. That's right. Yeah, there's a few.
Oh, so the Reina del Sur is based on a real woman?
Yes, yeah.
I did not know that.
So El Señor de los Cielos, because you were telling me you liked.
Yeah, El Señor de los
El
Cielos.
Señor de los Cielos, El Chapo, La Reina del Sur, they're all based on real people. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, you know what, Blue? I got to make this introduction. This is my homeboy right there. You heard me say his name. He's a gangster rapper.
Hi.
Hey now.
And he allegedly runs with the Crips organization. So I got a bunch of gangsters on the show tonight.
I've heard of the Crips. Yes, they're very well known.
I wonder. So do they got Crips in Mexico?
No, they have sureños y norteños.
Sureños, norteños, same thing as out here.
Yeah.
So that comes from Mexico then.
I think the sureños. I think that came from the U.S. down south. I want to say.
So it's something that came from America going down there. I ain't gonna get too much. This is real political out here, so I ain't gonna get too much into their thing they got going on.
I got homies that's down there from
Like
117. Yeah, well, so my gang where I'm from, exactly 117th Street, there's a gang that's a Mexican gang called CV117. And some of my older homies live in Mexico now. Like they went down there and moved down there.
Yeah, all right. And they started the whole, they kept the whole organization going? Or is they're just chilling? Like,
knowing Looney and them, I don't know if they just chilling because they kind of wild, but I don't think the goal was to further the organization as much as make sure they was okay, taking care of their families. They older now. They like they got to be in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're just living. I don't think the goal is to further 117 down there. I'm not sure. I can't speak for him, but
Well, you know,
I talked to him a couple times. And then we go back and forth on IG, but I ain't, ask like, hey, what y'all doing down there? You know what I'm saying? That's just
and
a
he
weird
hasn't
question.
joined a cartel because usually that's what happens. Like the gangsters come down here and they join the cartels. What I
Yeah,
usually the
you know
story I
what?
hear.
I don't even know if he would have told me that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm asking him? I'm like, hey, did you,
Yeah,
what I mean,
ask
join a
him. He
bigger
might tell.
organization?
He might not
Yeah.
tell you,
He
or
was
he
like,
might
nah, G, I
surprise you.
can't tell you. One of the first times I ever got shot at was messing around with Looney. So
I got shot at too. Where'd you get shot at?
we was in front of Carver Park Elementary School in Watts.
Okay, what part of your body?
So that's 120th, and that would be 120th between Compton Avenue and Central.
I think she asked him, bro, where you got shot at if you got
Oh,
shot.
I didn't get shot. No,
Oh,
the
Because
car
we
got
don't
shot
have
up.
smoke before.
oh, okay. So just
No,
they hit
no,
they hit the
no.
car.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot
okay.
though. You know what I mean? It was a lot. Well, we was talking to my homeboy, my older homie Looney from 117, and it happened right then there. So
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that's something. I got shot at too, but I actually did get the ricochets from the AK-47 in my legs. My it was when my husband got picked up by the cartel. He got kidnapped. They shot him with an AK-47 in the legs, and that same bullet ricocheted, and the bullet pieces hit my legs. So
So
it's
so I
like
guess I'll
being
just
fully
yeah.
shot.
I'm
I feel like 50 Cent, and I feel like I graduated into a gangster.
hey, there you go. Um, so I guess I have to ask this because obviously, like I'm from Watts, so you tied in. I know everything about corridos, certain older homies, you know what I mean, you hear about certain things. So even on the narco front, like a rival cartel would be giving you slack because you represent this particular cartel.
No, back in the days, like I've been a pioneer of narco rap since 2001. Now it is, I feel like it's at a different level. But back in the days, no, there's several rappers that died in the process. 50 was one rapper from Matamoros that he went into Monterrey territory. A different territory. When he came back, he was killed. They killed him. The cartel killed him. So no, my husband also, because he was on the cartel payroll. He was an actual estaca, and he was the favored son of Metro Tres, Comandante Metro Tres. So they had him on a short leash. Like I witnessed this up until the day that he died. The government and the cartel had him on a short leash, but especially the government. Like we would get stopped. They would call it a routine check, right? And they would stop us constantly, and they would just threaten him like, oh, you're making songs for the op cartel, you're making. And he would just be like, no, no, no. And they would be like, we're gonna throw you over the op lines. And I mean, they had him on a short leash. But after his passing, after 50's passing, and other people, I feel like it also, because narco rap has been around for so long, it's becoming more normal. And what I want, like, I'm an artist. I consider myself an artist. I started at the Dope House before I came down here to Mexico. I was working with SPM, so I know the business mentality, and I wanted to take narco rap to different levels. So the way I carry myself with a lot of. I respect the politics, the rules. I watch what I say, and I don't do things I'm not supposed to do. I don't do business. And so I play by the rules. So hopefully I can go to different territory, with permission, with respect. I have already worked with different narco rappers from different areas, like from Nuevo Laredo and Coahuila. I worked with Coca Delta. I'm in Matamoros a lot also, networking. And Matamoros is already a different cartel. It's also Gulf
Heard of
Cartel,
it.
but they split in two. You know, so I'm running all over the place because that's as a artist, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you're supposed to,
Sure.
you know, fight for the music. You know, and I would like for it to be more accepted to where different artists can go to. We're already working with each other, you know, different cartels. So it's already a level up. Now I would like to work to where we can actually go on a tour in Mexico safely. You know, there's another thing happening here. The government is actually shutting Narco Rap down. They're shutting Narco Rap down. They're shutting Narco Corridos down. I believe Tijuana is a state that already passed the law. I don't know what other state. There's another state that already passed a law to where if you're playing a Narco Corrido concert, they will fine you like millions of pesos, in the millions, that accumulate to millions of dollars, and even jail time. So
Wow, that's censorship.
Yeah, they're trying to censor it because they say it's glorifying the cartels, and that's they're trying to protect the youth. And I'm like, you know, there's also Narco series. They don't censor that. And there's Narco series in the U.S., and you don't see people being like waking up one day like, oh, I'm going to, you know, jump on a tank and, you know, like, you know,
and not to cut you off, Blue, like, man.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You're going through the same thing NWA went through.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I can relate.
So it's so amazing because I keep telling people like the spirit that hip hop has created, like people just it's happening everywhere, and it's like they try to make it this unique thing to just the United States, and I'm like, no, there's ghettos and people going through it everywhere, and everybody want to express their story. And I always argue with Steele and everybody that there's like we all have problems, and this gave us a voice and a way to express it. Part two, this is a question. So now that I obviously write in different organizations, there's younger people coming up who might be into rap music. Where does that leave? Are there still the singers? Are there still the same singer versions of Corrido, or is it just are people just going straight to Narco Rap at this point as far as representing their organization?
I feel like they're both blooming. There's because you got, you know, Peso Pluma, which is doing like corridos tumbados, you know.
I seen with Canelo.
Yeah. And then you got the belly cumbias. There's this little kid blowing up over here that he got the cumbia going on. It's a rap, but in cumbia, and he's blowing up. So I mean, this narco thing is really taking off now. Like there's narco everywhere, and then you got the narco series, you know, and it's blowing up, and the government's trying to shut us down.
You know what's funny about the powers that be is that it's almost easier for them to shut people that's doing something positive down than actually going after the people that's just addressing problems, addressing the poverty and stuff that's going on in Mexico. All that stuff, crime is a product of poverty. It's a product of people not having shit that want something. Mm-hmm. And they're going to go get it by any means at some point. They give up. They can't go to the government for assistance. Their parents ain't got it, so they like in their mind, they pretty much have made up in their mind, I'm going to go get this right now by any means. Yeah. And I think that's dope, man. You are going exactly through the same thing the NWA went through. Now, I see you got your security over there with you. You roll with security everywhere, don't you?
I do, yes. It's a very dangerous. Actually, they've tried to take my truck. Well, like I said, they kidnapped my husband one time, and this was by people he knew. They tried to take my truck 3 times. In one instance, they shot at me. I was getting away. Blew the tire out. So I mean, you just never know, you know. And then you ask around, like, who was it, you know? And they're like, we don't know if it was the ops. Like they ain't gonna say nothing. A rogue member. I mean, so yeah, I don't go alone anywhere. It's unbelievable. I can't put an emphasis how many times things have happened, you know. I can't. Like, you would be surprised. It's like the day of the Soldado, the Sicario movie, like every day, every single day.
You know what's funny? Everybody knows about the story about my man down from Colombia, Pablo Escobar, right?
Yeah.
would you say that everything, because from what I understand, you tell me if I'm wrong, the Colombians had the dope game on lock at first, right? They had it on smash at first, and they were using the Mexicans to kind of to get it into America. And the Mexicans eventually said, you know what? Screw this. We ain't gonna keep moving y'all stuff. We're gonna start our own stuff. Is that what happened?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were already, working, but I think they just wanted more money for themselves and fighting the territory is pretty much what happened. Like they weren't going to allow them to cross their, product through their country and pretty much getting, nickels and dimes for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and the person, they were always there. Honestly, they were always around, but people just never knew. Like I said, like I told you before, my stepdad was a federal. So even when I was little, there was already things going on out here. Just you wouldn't hear about it. What happened is that since the Chapo escaped from prison 2 times, he's what made the Mexicans famous and the cartels famous. Like he got us trending. It just took like a guy to blow up, like a personality, but they were always there.
Yeah, America is fascinated. America as a whole is fascinated by that whole culture.
I think they're fascinated by the whole organized crime because I mean I remember they had an infatuation with the Italian mob. Remember that Al Capone, and then they had a fascination with Pablo Escobar, the Scarface movie, the Cubans, Tony Montana, and then all of a sudden Chapo came out, and they got like the Mexican culture is popping now. Like we're cool now. El Chapo made us cool,
Definitely did.
Yeah, the music is blowing up. Now, it's one thing I noticed too. Out in LA, everything is music is kind of ran by gang politics to a certain extent. Not all the way, but to a certain extent, right? Like you have like a lot of Mexican artists that won't work with certain other artists. Is it like that over there too? Is the politics even that severe over there?
Yes. Like, well, first of all, these cartels have very strict politics. You're not allowed to sing for other cartels. And like I said, you're not allowed to step into other territories either. So yeah, they got their politics, and then you amongst the rappers as well, you got little haters amongst each other,
So pretty much,
it's the same
you
thing.
rap for one cartel and can't rap for nobody else.
I'm not allowed to rap for another cartel because I live here in Tamaulipas. So I mean, picture this. I live in Tamaulipas, right? So I sing for Golf Cartel. And then let's say somebody from the opposing cartel, let's see, Los Zetas, they ask me like, hey, do me a song. I do a song. The guys from here are going to be like, come here. You rapping for the ops, and I might not be, I might probably be decapitated or something like in a lot of those videos. Why? Because that's what they do to the opposing cartel when they come into the territory. We live, like they want Reynosa. I live in a city that all the other cartels want because we're right at the border. There's a lot of money here. There's a lot of different types of merchandise product here. So they want this territory, and the original, the Golf Cartel is, they're fighting to not let it go. Like we're not gonna let you have it. They're not gonna let like Jalisco come in. So they're fighting. When they capture them, they torture them. Like this is what's gonna happen if you guys try to come into our territory. You want to step in here, this was going to happen to you. And they record them. Like I've seen some things, like I've seen people lit on fire alive,
put in barrels. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money though. What's not talked about is that, and I think when people hear opposition, they don't realize these are people competing for billions of dollars.
Yeah, we call them the contras.
Yeah, our countries act the same way. The United States of America, the country, we all act the same way at the highest level. So I think it's disingenuous when people don't, act like they get why somebody is competing for billions of dollars. Like they're competing for the opportunity to support their family and thousands of people's families. So it's going to get crazy, you know, over that type of money. It's supposed to.
It sounds like not only trying to support their families, but really it's the same stuff as over here, just getting down for their neighborhood. Like you can't just come in my hood trying to do what you want to.
But again, it's that's the United States of America. That's Ukraine right now and Russia. That's Hamas and Israel. Everybody's competing for an opportunity to thrive.
Yes.
And at the lowest levels, like where we're from, like from my crib neighborhood, or let's say over in the cartels in Mexico, they try to denounce it like it's not the same thing. It's the same thing. Everybody's competing for
yes, and it's
control.
funny that you say that. I have always compared it to, well, I came to school here in the United States, so I've always compared it to civil wars. I'm like, this is a civil war. It's what it is. It's different, or you know, they want to call them criminal organizations.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's a civil war within the country against each other. That's what it is.
And ironically, the Civil War was a fight over the South trying to keep their greatest industry going, and the North saying, "No, we're not doing this anymore. You have to do something else, and you can't separate as a union." So it's really exactly the same. But
It's exactly the same.
of course, they're gonna look down on black and brown people and call it criminal. It's horrible. Like they don't understand.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've actually put me on a terrorist watch list, which is ridiculous. Like you said.
Wow. Oh, you really NWA. You really, you're really NWA.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey,
no, I mean, I'm not like bragging about it. I don't want people to be
but that's something to be proud of for establishing this level of, no, for real. Like, it's dope when I talk to Yella or when I talk to Dre or when I talk to these guys and really watch them where they at now to see what they went through. So it's dope to watch it happen for somebody else in another country, like going through those steps. And you got to look at the Straight Outta Compton movie and really believe this is where it could end up at. It most likely will. So I'm definitely gonna get up on some of your stuff, man. I'm happy and I'm proud that you know, taking the gambles to really make sure people know your community story. That's everything.
Thank you. Yes.
Would they allow you to do a song with glasses?
Yes. Yes, they would. As long as he's not a knob. No, they would.
Man, that would be the first, man, a Crip and a Narco combined forces, man, on a rap song. That would be hard.
Yeah.
That'd be right up your alley, G. Because you love the smoke, dog. That is right up your alley.
For sure. I love somebody fighting a good fight, man. I love somebody putting on for their community, so it works for me.
And so, Blue, you never got, because you don't talk off air. You're not scared sometimes because you don't been through some shit, girl.
I have been through shit, but sorry.
That's so good.
I personally, I like the adrenaline. I don't know. I've always been like that all my life. You know, I was a little a gangbanger as a teenager. I was already, a runner in my early 20s. I did a little bit of time for that, but I've already, look, when I saw that, first of all, Tupac got me into the whole gangster bit, okay? And then it was Scarface that did it for me. I saw the movie Scarface. I was young, and I wanted to marry Scarface. I wanted to be Scarface. So I just went after that life of crime, And
so you wanted a D-boy husband. You wanted a D-boy husband with the big truck and the ostrich belt and the ostrich boots and all that stuff.
Yes, I've had a few, yeah. I've dated a few sicarios.
That's crazy. So if you're dating a normal civilian man, he's just too boring for you, huh?
He's boring, yes. He is boring. Sorry. I feel like, I don't know, and I've met people that I could have possibly married and live a nice, comfy life, but I don't, they asked me to move. I'm like, I don't want to move out here. I don't want to leave. This is what people portray in movies. I'm living what people pretend to be in songs and movies. I'm living it, And we have a motto here. They say lo sufres o lo gozas, which means either you live it, you suffer it, or you live it, like you love it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that's a
dope,
motto
man.
out here. Either you suffer it or you love it.
I can't get Steele to understand the outlaw commitment. He don't understand it. I cannot get him to
I got some
understand it.
kind of, I
Steele
got
was
some kind of
gangster.
understanding to it. I got
He
to
think
understand.
it's crazy. Let me ask you a
I
question.
definitely have empathy for it.
Give me your top 3 favorite corrido artists all
My
time, dead
corridos.
or alive.
Okay. Well, me gusta Ramón Ayala. Era Ramón Ayala. La de... Oye, ¿quién cantaba Chuy Mauricio? En un 300, el viejo Paulino. I gotta ask, my I gotta ask my estacas here. No, los Tucanes no. So I like Ramón Ayala. Me gusta. I mean, it's hard. I don't really listen
She
to.
speaks Spanish. You just hear that authentic Spanish in her. She just says, "Me gusta."
Sí, me gusta. Me gustan los corridos. Me gusta Ramón Ayala because I like tragos de amargo licor and be crying.
I like
Who
it.
the one dude you always talk about? She mentioned him earlier, and I thought about you. What's the one dude you told
Chalino.
about? You be on Chalino.
Chalino is the corridos Tupac. That's the one.
Yeah. A lot of people like Chalino. In our area, it was Beto Quintanilla. Beto Quintanilla and Valentín Elizalde that got shot down here, that were the narco corridos from this area. Yeah.
So they got shot too?
Yes, and for the same reason that I'm telling you, they got threatened.
Yeah.
Chalino Sanchez got shot. He got a little note telling him to not sing a certain song. He read the little note and he sang it anyways. And yeah, he died right after he got off the stage. Valentín Elizalde also, his Suburban was shot up, or Tahoe. Don't remember what it was. But
He got one of the greatest. He got one of the greatest stories of any artist. Like if you know his story is dope. Like
Chalino.
Yeah.
He was like the Mexican Tupac, wasn't he?
He was cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
He was like what Narco Rap is right now, but back then, Narco Corridos. Yep, a lot of people respect him and love him, and
Now in the narco music, because I have when to listen to narco music, I noticed y'all got a certain vibe. It's kind of like trap a little bit, huh?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It kind of got like a trap vibe. Why do you think that is? I thought, because you know what I was wondering. I said, I wonder if they got any narco rappers that rap over West Coast shit. That'd be hard, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be hard for, like, I feel like if I were, like, for example, me, if I were to rap some West Coast stuff, I'd be faking the funk. Like, it wouldn't suit me, right?
So you keep it authentic to what your experiences is.
Yes, yeah, that's the thing about me. I think that's why a lot of people, like, when they meet me, they know me in real life, they knew my husband Blunt, the local people, they respect me because they know I'm about it, right? Versus a lot of the rappers in the US, when they want to rap about it, or I mean, it's cool to rap about it, but you don't live that life. You know what I'm saying? So, and people know, like, out
love
here,
her.
You can't be a narco
I love
rapper.
her. I love her.
The Coach Blue official, man.
Yeah, I be saying that.
I love you too.
Man, I be saying this. Exactly.
Yeah. No, but it's the truth. Real recognize the real keep it real. So that's what it is. I'm authentic, and I think people see that. People, like, I'm not faking the funk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and out here still in this area, you cannot be like. Well, I mean, now there's like some rising artists, I guess, because narco rap became so normal. Now there's some narco rappers that have nothing to do with the cartel. Like, they just have like a friend and they rap for a certain person. But my husband was an actual sicario. Liker, which was also part of the crew, was somebody also that I dated. He was also a sicario. 50-50, I think he was in that life as well. Then there was Los Setones out of Laredo, and over there también, you know, they were about that life from what I hear. So, you know what I'm saying, like we don't fake the funk. And me, you know, I wasn't in there, but you know, I dated a lot of people. I did my share of missions. I met several comandantes because of Blunt, you know, when I went with him. You know, I lived a lot of things, a lot of experiences. You know, people knew that he got kidnapped and I got shot, and they tried to take my truck. They shot my truck up. You know, I mean, people know these stories that follow me, so they know it's authentic. When I be rapping about it, it's authentic.
So let me ask you this: when they came and got your husband and kidnapped him, they didn't try to tie you up too?
No, they kind of respect women a little bit. I want to say a little bit. They do respect women a little bit. They try to avoid the family sometimes, but other times when they're coming to get you, they'll get your whole family. You know. So no, they did call me. They did call me, and they wanted my truck. So they were hitting me up for the money, the ransom. They wanted my Mercedes, and they wanted money. They wanted like 50 grand.
Yeah, how did y'all get out of that? Y'all want to breaking bread?
I grabbed his phone, and I just started dialing numbers because it was like a peanut phone. There was like, you know, no names. You know those peanut phones from back that look like little bars? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just started dialing random numbers, and I finally, I spoke to Comandante Vicky, and I told him what happened, and he told me, he's like, just hold on, don't give him anything. He's like, I'm going to make some calls. So 5 hours went by, and I was still just waiting, and I was calling him. I'm like, they're calling me. He's like, just wait. And I'm Catholic. I started praying. I prayed a rosary. And before I moved in with Blunt, I was doing rosaries with the old ladies. You know, I was hanging out with the old ladies of the church, and we would do rosaries at, you know, different places. So at that moment, I'll never forget, I told God, like, you know, Lord, I used this truck to serve you, the mercy. I used this truck to serve you. I carried, you know, the statues. We have statues as Catholics. I carried the statues from place to place, and the old church ladies. I served you with this truck, and the Bible says, what you give, no one can take away. So you gave me this truck. I served you with this truck, but I'm not going to, you know, prioritize a material object over someone's life. So I'm going to give this up for him. And I remember I called my parents because my dad had co-signed, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna have to give this truck up. This is going on. So when after I did the rosary, I got to the point that they told me to get to. There was nobody there. They were gone. And I went around, like I still went around, drove around to see if I saw anybody. And then I went back on the highway, went back to the spot alone. I didn't see anybody. And then I just got a phone call, and they told me they dropped him off at the hospital. So I just believe that was the hand of God, you know, right there.
Yeah, when the guy decided to move, was something powerful.
Yeah.
You know, you got a powerful story. Have you ever thought about because I don't know what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do, but I told you the reason I wanted to talk to you was because I thought you should be out there more.
I should be out there more.
Because I thought her story was like, I said, you know what, I'm gonna use my platform, man, really to help homegirl out, you know?
It's dope.
My boy, shout out to my boy Cassie D. Shout out
to Cassie D.
Yeah, because he called me and told me about her first, right? And I was like, for real, you don't know nobody, man. It's a real narco rapper, man. Knock it off. And he really did. He came through with it. So with all this going, what you got going on now music-wise? Like, what's cracking next?
Well, what's cracking is I want to just work on my catalog. You know, I want to do it alone. You know, because I worked with Dope House, and I did songs with Juan Gotti, SPM, you know, Rashid, and you know, when I came out here, it's like I can't perform these songs. You know what I mean? Like, because I have, and these guys won't come to Mexico. They're scared to come to Mexico. So I started doing these songs by myself, and I want to perform by myself, and I want to do, what SPM did, what Mexican OT is doing, just kind of make a name for myself by myself, even if I struggle or I don't know how long it's gonna take, but just work really hard, and expand my catalog. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's dope. You sound like you got the main premise of the game down. It's really just about getting on your shit and putting music out.
Yeah, yep.
Because I noticed everything you do correct. You got a good attention to detail. Even when we was doing this interview, now you was like, "Hey, do you like this?" And I said, "Man, homegirl really went all the way out. I mean, she did her shit."
I had good teachers. I feel like Sylvia Coy, SPM's brother, she was a good teacher.
Shout out to Sylvia. I've spoken to Sylvia before. We supposed to have South Park Mexican on the show, but the time he was supposed to come on, I guess he was in lockdown or something like that, so we couldn't happen. But I've talked to her before.
Oh, that's
I've
sad.
talked to her before.
Yeah.
South Park Mexican, you know what? I want to go on that a little bit. I ain't gonna talk about what he allegedly did or what he, because that's a touchy subject.
Well,
But
he's
he
a
was
big
like
boy, is
Michael
what I
Jackson.
say.
Huh?
He's a big boy. I always tell people, I'm like, he's a big boy. He can defend himself.
Yeah,
It's
he
funny,
was.
funny you said touchy subject. That's just hilarious.
No, not the
Pun intended.
The pun.
No pun intended. But he was like Michael Jackson down there.
Yes,
big.
yeah. He still is pretty huge in the Latin market. He's still pretty huge. Yep.
Yeah, South Park Mexican. I think he was selling more records than Thug and all of them. G.
SPM is a big deal, dog. He is not. He was a huge deal. He's a huge deal.
Still is. I mean, because he just posted his numbers on Spotify and wow, like he's in the top. Yep.
People love
Top
SPM. They always have.
Now, was you surprised when you heard about the accusations brought forth to him?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Or you're asking him?
No, I'm asking you. Were you surprised when you?
Was I surprised? I really felt like neutral about it. If I remember back then, it was like 2001. I remember feeling neutral. I kept asking him about it, like, is it true? Is it not true? He never told me. He never spoke about that with me. He never answered the question. Every time that I got a letter back from him, he omitted that part, and he would just talk about other stuff, so that question was just left up in the air. I would be like, hey, if you did it, it's kind of fucked up, but if you didn't do it, because there's a story also circulating that he was framed. I was framed. I was actually framed, and I was found guilty. So when he said that he was framed, I believed it. Like, I believe you, because I've been framed. So it can happen, and the lady showed up to court too to give false testament against me. And I told the judge, I'm like, sir, she is lying under oath. She needs to be arrested. She got really nervous. So the judge just gave me time served because I feel like he didn't know who to believe. So he found me guilty, but he gave me time served. So I was there 3 days. But it can happen. It can happen.
It can. If somebody, man, haters are worldwide.
Yeah. Yep.
If somebody did some cold shit to go frame somebody, man, and just ruin somebody's life.
Yeah.
Because I heard a lot of stuff. I heard this South Park Mexican was so big, he had a lot of people in high places that was really just on his head.
Yeah, I believe that.
And when you got that, so when you say you want to do this all on your own, so you saying you just start your own label?
Well, I have my own label. I kept Blunt's label because he separated from his duo. Gano, it was Gano and Blunt. The record label was called Flow de Cali that they made, and they did a whole album with that Big Los guy that you were watching. So then they separated over royalties and other personal issues, and he separated from Flow de Cali, and he created Rojo Rec, which after he passed, I kept it because he told me, we went through a lot of stuff together, and he told me, you don't need nobody. You are going to be Rojo Rec. Don't worry about Dope House. Don't worry about Big Los and Mercado Negro. He goes, you're going to be with me now. And I felt like wanted, like when somebody actually wants you to be part of their team versus at, the Dope House, you got to like almost till this day, it seems like you almost got to fight for a spot there, you know, and that's not the environment that I'm trying to surround myself with. Because, I mean, in case you haven't noticed, like, I keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to go fight over no spot. Either I'm wanted here or I'm not wanted. You know, so that's why I kept Rojo Rec, because that was a place where I was wanted and that was my home. So
that's dope. And believe it or not, it's the same thing as a record label. I think people under this impression once you sign a record deal that you just own like that. No, it's probably 50 artists in that building and everybody bucking for position.
Yeah, for the position, for the attention, for the favoritism, you know, like, I'm not gonna fight.
Yeah, you don't know, it's people on record labels that can't even get their label, their A&R to call them back. You know, they can't get their phone calls returned. They just kind of in limbo, you know? And most of the dudes that flourish are the dudes that go out and make something happen on their own. You know, go make something crack.
Yep, I believe that. And, you know, ever since I broke off from the Dope House, I feel like it was a sad moment for me because, I mean, it is a big record label. So it was a sad moment for me, but now that I see my growth, I feel like I would have done everything the same that I went through, you know, ending up with Blunt, ending up in Tamaulipas in Mexico. I mean, it made me who I am today. I feel like my numbers are, you know, at least they're growing. They're slow, but they're growing. Like, it's authentic, it's organic, and I wouldn't have done that if I stayed at the Dope House, you know, or at Mercado Negro. I wouldn't have done that.
For sure. Now, do you see some people in America trying to imitate the Narco Rap?
I see a lot of people trying to imitate the Narco Rap, and especially the females and the Spanish. Like, everybody's trying to hop on the Spanish train. There's female rappers that I've seen that they rapped like the you know, American gangster way in English all their life. That's how they rapped, you know. Like Powell, you know, like with that accent, you know what I'm saying? I've seen females rap like that, and all of a sudden, I came out, and all of a sudden, these same females are starting to throw songs in their Spanish, and they're all in black now, and I'm like, listen, there's a reason why I'm wearing black, because we're all tactical out here. There's a reason why they're tactical out. The cartel is wearing tactical clothes all the time. Like, there's a reason for it. Versus, you know, you just want to wear black for, I don't know, because it's trending. You want to throw Spanish out there. Like, it's hurtful to me still. Like, it hurts me. It hurts my pride, because I'm like, bro, I've been fighting for this genre since 2001. People would make fun of me. A guy one time called me a gimmick. He's like, you're just a gimmick. Oh, look at the gimmick now. Narco Rap is a full-blown thing right now. And they called me a gimmick back then, you know, and you know, people weren't riding with me. They didn't suffer what I suffered, sweat, blood, and tears, and all of a sudden they want to ride the train. I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I should be more accepting, but I'm not with it, you know. Man,
I like you. You ain't supposed to just be accepting of just anything.
I don't. I mean, I don't want to be a hater, because I'm not. But I feel like it's not fair. Like, I fought the fight, and you just want to come and, you know, you want to eat the cake. That's not the way it works. Should have been there with me. Yes, Steele, he told you.
You like that stuff, don't you, G? You like her.
I love it. It's like warm in my heart, because I know where she's coming from. When you culturally experience something, you try and express it, and people just see it as an opportunity to take it. I know the feeling. I know that feeling.
Real recognize the real. I think we'd be good friends. Wow.
What do you need, Blue? What do you think you're missing in order to, like, just go to that next level? Are you missing beats, or what do you think it is?
No, I feel like right now that I've grown, people are trying to give me beats now, and I don't want them, because I have like a certain style that I want. Don't go to sleep. Am I boring you?
No. I've been up since 5 this morning. This is all compelling stuff. No, this is all compelling stuff.
I'm kidding. So, you know, I have a certain sound that I'm looking for, and now I have people that actually like what they're doing versus they're just trying to sell you a beat, you know, or they're just trying to record you, get that money. Now I got people that I like how they work with me. They put their heart into my work. So, you know, yeah.
You're being produced.
My ADHD just kicked in.
Oh, no, it's cool. I'm just trying to figure out, because I don't heard records from you. You got some dope music. I like your music.
Yeah,
Well,
now I do. I think I've grown a lot. I've
it's
grown a
called
lot.
being produced. It's no more beats. Now people are finishing your songs from top to bottom. That happened to me over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, like where somebody stopped sending me beats and we started making songs together. We started making records. And that's a good place to be.
Yep, I agree. Yes, yes, sir.
And you being like, because see, you down there in Texas too. So it's a lot of, man, you know what? You got a chance to make a lot of bread down there because you in a region that's just kind of like flourishing.
Yeah. In one
Just
aspect.
the whole area. And you like, because see, and I try to tell somebody like what OT Mexican is doing is not surprising me. I told somebody, I said, man, the next big thing, man, is going to be somebody from Mexico go figure it out and they go to sell a gazillion units.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, it's out there, and it's like the thing that slows it down out here in California is the politics. People can't get past the politics, you know, to just blow up and just rap. But like you know, G had a saying, like has a saying about authenticity, right? I think some people run away from being Mexican when they should run towards being Mexican. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of artists from the United States are trying to tap into that market, but just I feel like the authenticity is not there. And like you guys in the United States, I mean, there's people, rappers making millions, but you got like a rapper called Santa Fe Clan. He's doing really well, but he's mostly like in Mexico. You got Babo, Cartel de Santa. Then you got this little, there's a lot of artists that they got, millions of reproductions out here in Mexico. But yeah, they don't hear about them over there. But since I'm bilingual, and like I said, I'm trying to take Narco Rap to other levels, I be like, I speak English and I got dual nationality. That's why I be like going back and forth everywhere.
Because you live in Texas and in Mexico.
I live in Texas and in Mexico. I got a home in both. I got dual citizenship. Yep. I can go every single day. Like I just had tacos a little while ago, and other times I have salads.
Man, what kind of tacos they sell in your region? That's one thing I learned. Everybody kind of has their own style of tacos.
Oh, they have the Matamoros tacos, over there in Matamoros. But they have them. They sell them here too, that style. But it's usually tacos de trompo, tacos de carnitas, tacos de chicharrón, and then you got the breakfast tacos, those de tacos al vapor también. So whatever kind of taco you got, you want, they got them here.
Man, I'm missing some tacos. I think black people is the
Gorditas
tacos'
too.
biggest supporter.
Yes, gorditas.
African Americans are the tacos' biggest supporter.
My favorite food. I'm from the east side of Los Angeles, so it's my favorite food.
Yeah, Los Angeles got some pretty good Mexican food. It's probably the #1 food. All other food sucks.
They got some authentic tacos there. I mess with it because I can't.
Oh, you been out to California before?
Have I been? Yes, I've been to California before. I have family out there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I forgot what they roll with, but they roll with something. Shout out to my tia Wendy.
Yeah, I'm glad. Don't say it on here and get us involved in a whole bunch of stuff. I ain't trying to be nobody's beef. I'm cool with everybody. I don't got no beef with nobody.
So, sir, you have mentioned every single organized crime team around here.
Hey, some stuff get more touchy than others, though.
Okay.
Hey, you know what?
No, that is the touchy stuff. This is easy.
Yeah, you know what I wanted to ask you? Have you ever thought about doing a movie?
I have. I want to do a movie.
Damn. I'm gonna give you some game right now. Independent movies are blowing up right now, and they're becoming huge vehicles for artists. And in fact, what's funny to me, everybody I met from like Detroit, like in Detroit, Michigan, that's like a flourishing independent movie scene out there, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody that's doing the movies used to be rappers, G, and they started off, I'm gonna get this camera and stuff to do my, own music videos, and they start getting good with the camera. Next thing you know, they making movies and they making money. And they forget about the rap. I think as long as you remember what the main mission is cool. I think with all the stuff you've been through and with the proper permission, of course, that you should make a movie. I think that'd be dope.
Yes, yeah, I want to make a movie, but I just don't know how. I don't have the connections yet. I've been trying to look for some.
Hey, well, you got homies that got connections now. You connected now.
Mm-hmm.
You connected with the Bigg Steele cartel too. Just tell your
I
people.
saw you in a movie, Steel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Man,
saw you, and Malibu's
that's
on
funny.
it.
Just tell them, because I don't want no beef. Tell them that my cartel is just me and Glasses Malone. That's it, and a few other people. That's it. Ain't nobody
I'll
else
let
in
'em know.
cartel. So we ain't no threat. So you got to get permission so we don't get rolled on.
No, it ain't like that. They're not that strict like that. That's ridiculousness.
You know what? But the way
Man,
they always showing movies like everything. Like if you do one thing wrong, here they come. They go string you up.
Yeah.
Here you come. They go come and get you. So let me ask you this: if I came down to Mexico, right, and you was like, "Hey, these my friends, Glasses and Steel," would they trip on us?
No, they would not. No, they don't really mess with Americans because they're respect. They don't want the American government coming in here looking for you.
So would they? But they would probably be interested in Glasses being the Crip and stuff, and like ask them about the Cripping and stuff, huh?
I mean, unless you're like como se dice, cagando palos, y estás cagando palo, y like, misbehaving, they won't do nothing to you. But I mean, if you start stirring up the pot, then yeah, they're gonna.
Oh, this gonna be on. That's anywhere though. I think you come anywhere starting a bunch of. We call it over here. We call it bullshit. We don't call it stirring the pot. We call it starting some bullshit. You go get the sharp end of the bull. You go get the horns.
I didn't know we could cuss. You've been like cussing all kinds of words. And
Well, you know what? It's the thing. I try to keep it to
too. I've been holding back.
No, I keep it to a minimum, but you can cuss now. We past 5 minutes. We way past 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a hint about YouTube and all that stuff. The first 5 or 10 minutes is critical. Don't say no curse words toward the end. And there's certain curse words, like if you start just saying random stuff, like I got another co-host, and I love my dude, but every other word with him is motherfucker, shit, bitch, and just every other word, and it's like, damn, dog, you just don't say it. You don't let out a flurry. I love you, Eiht, but Eiht will let out a flurry of curse words just in a 5-minute frame.
Hold on.
Who is that back there? Is that your security walking around back there?
Sí, es que están grabando en aquella cámara.
Can they come on the camera real quick? Is they allowed to?
Do you want them to come?
See, they have masks.
No, I'm just like they tell me just walk behind you. I'm just trying to see how you roll. But that's crazy to me that you actually got security.
Yeah. Quieren verte. Es que también está grabando en aquella cámara que está allá.
Man, that's crazy, man. She got actual security. I'm always stay cool with you. I do not want no beef with you.
14 over there.
I do not want no beef with you.
No.
What's up, man? Peace and love. Peace and love, my brothers.
Yeah.
Peace and love, my brothers.
Oh man, you still bell still.
But that is so cold, oh man. Blue, you really down with the Blue? You really what they call a mafiosa?
Yes. Bélica is the word, which is actually my little logo. Bélica.
How do you say that? How do you say it?
Bélica.
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 Bélica. G think he knows Spanish. G, break up some of your Spanish because he was trying to correct me one day. I was calling my wife. I call her Maria, and he was just like, "No, it's Maria. It's Maria." He was correcting me. He's like, "It's Maria." I said, "Man, I'm not Spanish. I can't be Maria. Come here, Maria. Mi amor." I would sound so disingenuous. Mi amor, ven acá, mi amor.
Te pasas. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's Maria. You're so funny.
Ven acá. You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you, there are so many parallels, and people don't believe me when I tell them. I think people that come from poverty all kind of got the same story. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're black or Mexican. It's like it's the same stuff.
Yeah, it is.
It's the same stuff. It's the same struggle.
Poverty's the same all over. It's poverty.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah, but you know what? In Mexico, y'all got some real serious. It's some serious poverty over here. But I think in Mexico, it's like another level.
If you want to compare poverty,
it's way worse.
It's way worse over here where you are.
The projects. I when I hear people like talking about like, oh, I grew up in the projects, it's like, bro, like that's nothing compared to the outhouse I had to go to when I was little. I thought I was gonna fall in there.
And that's why the crime. Yeah, that's why the crime is different,
That's
man.
why the
People
crime
trying to
is
get
what it is,
ahead.
man.
Yeah.
And I think people's biggest fear is returning to being broke. Like, you know, the biggest fear for somebody to get some money that come from poverty, man, is being broke.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of people join these cartels. It's the same story because they want a job. You know, it's a job out here.
So it's like really, and I heard a lot of times they taking care of like the whole community.
Yeah. Like we talk about like the good old days because now we don't have any good comandantes. Like the stories I've heard because I was not around. Que según Metro 3 and they call them the old school comandantes. They would always, you know, make the festivals for the town and always give to the people like what do you call, kind of like the packets that the army gives when, what do you call them, those
provisions. They would give them food. Provisions.
They'd be giving out provisions back in the day, you know. So but I mean now it's not like that a lot here anymore. Maybe in Sinaloa because it seems like they're balling out there, like that cartel's balling.
Yeah, because the thing is, you can rule with fear, but when you rule with a combination of both, it kind of make you almost untouchable.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody want, you know, like when you Robin Hood and when you taking care of people, when you feeding people and stuff, man, you just doing right by people, ain't nobody gonna want to see you fall.
Well, I say like this: there's good bad guys and there's bad guys. Just like there's good popes and like there's good priests and there's bad priests. Just because they're priests doesn't mean they're all good. Just because they're cartel members doesn't mean they're all bad, you know? So that's the way I look at it. There's some good people in there. Some.
Like, let me ask you this, because they make a crazy amount of money. What's the most money you ever been around that just made you nervous?
Oh, one time, I mean, I dated a narco, like a jefe, and I was unaware, but apparently he had $1 million in a suitcase, or I don't know how many million, I don't even remember, but there was some millions of dollars in a suitcase. Yeah.
And it was just laying around. You didn't get to see the money.
I didn't. You know what? And it's funny because when I dated him, I didn't even know who he was. I didn't find out who he was until he got arrested, and I'm like, I was dating who?
Man, see, you should have went. You know what? Let me ask you this: you think you could have got a couple stacks out of there?
Yeah.
He wouldn't even know it was missing. See, you should have got. He was going to jail anyway.
He gave me stacks. Like it was just ridiculous. He would give me like $6,000 a week and be like, "Here, don't work, don't go nowhere."
See, that's why a boring dude ain't got no chance, because you got a mother suckers giving you $6,000 a week, and you can go to a dude that's making $3,000 a month, and you go look at him like, man, you ain't got a chance.
No, I've dated guys that don't make that much money.
Tell him.
Like, yeah.
You dated him, but you ain't. But after a while, you was like, man, this ain't working for me.
Yes, I did miss the life a few times.
You missed the thing because you get bored with that dude. Like, man, we only get to go out once a week or twice a month with that man. And he ain't got no money for this. I can't go get my hair done.
If any, no, I've dated guys where I was the one working. I mean, I've been in all types of situations. I've been given, the money, and I've also been the provider, like just trying to help them get up. But
when you love somebody, that's just like a genuine thing to do. I don't think, like, they always say money can't buy love, but I swear I don't know no rich motherfuckers that's lonely.
Yeah.
They might not have love, but they sure as hell ain't lonely.
They ain't lonely. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? A poor man, that's all he can do. Can't do nothing but pray for you.
Yep.
That was the end of the podcast right there.
No, hold on. You just can't end the podcast. Hey, Blue.
That was such a great ending right there.
Yeah, it is. But we could do it that way. But this is what I want to do. I want to set you and Glasses up to do a song.
Okay. Yeah.
But I want him to come to your world, because I want to push him to the limits. I want him to come over one of your style of beats and come on there and do what it is you do.
You want him to record out here?
I don't know if I'm gonna send the homie.
Yeah.
I want to see my homie again.
He might not like it. There's nothing out
I'll be
here.
okay. I'll be good.
No, we shoot the video down there. You can send the beat we record out here, but we shoot the video down there. We go down there and shoot the video.
Yeah.
Either way,
It's
it's
gonna
all
look
good.
real gangster for sure. out here.
It'll be cool. That'll be cool with you down here.
But
in
it's
the
not
hood.
pretty. It's not like Cancun or
Well,
Florida.
no, that ain't what you want. He want to be authentic. He want to be in the hood.
Yeah. Okay.
Where would he have to fly into? He would have to fly into Dallas or Houston.
Probably they're probably gonna make him fly into. Do you guys have international flights?
Of course.
Okay, well then you
Sure.
might just fly into Mexico City, or maybe Dallas and then Reynosa.
Oh, you ain't too far from Mexico City?
No, it is far, but I don't know how their international flights
How
work.
far
Or
are you
you could
from
just
Michigan?
you could just go to Dallas and I'll pick you up in McAllen. That's easier.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to take international flights.
Yeah, that'd be better right there. How far are you from Michoacan? How far is Michoacan from you?
Mission Con.
Like Michoacan. Michoacan.
Oh,
Mexico,
you're cutting off.
Michoacan.
Michoacan,
How far-
mijo.
Exactly.
I'm like, what is Michigan?
Michoacán.
Is it Michigan? Es Michoacán. No, Michoacán está lejos. 12? 12 horas. She knows. ¿Cuál es tu clave? Acá es 14. ¿Cuál es tu clave? So, it's
Boy, some more young ladies around there. Who else? Who your friends is over there with you?
It's my security. My sicarios.
Oh, the Sicarios, okay. You know what? So Michigan, because the reason I asked, that's where my wife is from.
Mm-hmm.
She's from there. I always wanted to go down there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they got great food out there.
But I'm just scared, man, because one thing is I'm black and my wife is Mexican. I don't want nobody to think I'm a basketball player. I'm tall, I'm big, I'm tall, strong. Look, I don't want to think, like we caught here, he a football player. I'm gonna tell y'all now, y'all kidnap me, y'all might well keep her. Because I ain't got no money.
There's something she likes.
I ain't got no bread. So
Not that horrible, man.
Settle down, sir.
Settle down.
Settle down. I know what she liked, I guess.
Yeah. Blue, I'm glad
we've heard about you guys.
I'm glad we got to do this, man. I think this was fun. It was a treat. And hopefully it expands your personality to the rest of the world, man, and you blow up.
Well, I appreciate it. I really, really was looking forward to jumping on your show, Gangster Chronicles, I'm excited and forward to see what comes after this.
Oh, for sure. We gonna do some other stuff for sure. 'Cause I got some ideas about some stuff, but we gonna talk about that off air. And here y'all go. We international with it. Should I make another version of the show called Gangster Chronicles International?
Mm-hmm.
But we international with it. We just
Now
don't
you're
pass
international,
We
yes.
international
So
with it.
I need the subtitles, please, so that.
Oh, I made sure. You know what? I was on my
like
YouTube tonight, and I made
that.
sure that we had it for Spanish. And they give you different types of Spanish. I said, no, I want the Mexican Spanish. I don't want y'all talking that European Spanish.
No,
I
not
want the real Spanish.
Yeah,
Not
Mexican.
in Spanish. Mm-hmm.
How
So
they
that
say-
my audience can understand, what's going on. See.
Hell yeah. How they say it for mi gente.
Pa mi gente, yeah, viva Mexico.
All right, Blue.